Hi, this is Lisa Lee, and I'm here to invite you to join us at the beginning of 2018 for a 4-month-long mentoring program to become a transformation catalyst. This is your opportunity to dive deep and awaken the unique magic that lies within you so that you can bring greater transformation and awakening to your clients. About 2 months ago, a client of mine, a licensed therapist, asked me to teach her what it is that I do. And it was actually about 7 years ago that I discovered what it is that I can do and am doing. Before this time, I had taken various trainings in energy modalities and therapeutic trainings, but I'd never really set my heart on becoming a healing arts practitioner. About 7 years ago, when I was in Bloomington, Indiana, I was invited by a healing arts practitioner who I was seeing to come to a training that he was doing with his students in a sauna in the middle of the woods. It was quite beautiful. When we arrived, we were each invited to go to the center of the circle and release what it is that we wanted to release. I don't recall what it was that I said, but as I was walking back, the teacher said, "Lisa Lee, do your guides have anything they want to share?" And I'd never been asked this question, and I didn't know how to answer that question. But during a session he and I had, he had seen my guides, who I actually had never communicated with consciously except one time, and I didn't even know they were my guides. I just knew they were beings, and I had a conversation, a telepathic conversation with these beings. But that was the only time it ever happened, and I never really thought about it much since then. At any rate, he asked, "Do your guides have anything they want to share?" So I closed my eyes and listened, and I heard yes. And so I said, "Yeah, they do." What preceded was a 3-hour healing session that I gave all of his students and him. I'd never done anything like this before. It was, at a certain point, it was surprising, but I was just in the flow and it was happening. 3 hours later, we emerged from the sauna, and he came up to me and he said, "Lisa Lee, you don't know any of these people. These are my students. I know them quite well. You're going to be amazed at what you find out when we go back inside and have our potluck that we were supposed to have 2 hours earlier." So we went inside, and one of the men who I had worked with, I had seen a former life where his father was a Native American chief, and he had been killed by his brother who was up to no good. And the man who I was working with was sobbing and wailing and having a huge release and transformation. And when we got, and he had died, that's why his brother had killed him, and he had died because an arrow had gone into his shoulder right here, and he had bled to death. And so when we went inside, the partner of that man said, "Check this out." And she flung his shirt back, and there, in that spot, was an enormous scar. And he said, "Yeah, it's amazing. My entire life I had nothing but problems with his shoulder. It kept dislocating. Finally, I had to have surgery on it." And so he was really blown away. And that was just one of many pretty dramatic experiences that people had, and profound healings they had during that experience in the sauna. And from that moment forward, through the advice of the teacher that night, I began to realize that something significant was going on. And as I'm developing this program that I'm bringing to you, what I realize is that while it was unconscious and seemingly haphazard at the time, for many years I had systematically been learning how to get out of the way so that divine intelligence and intuition and mystical experiences could happen for me and then later for clients of mine. And this is what I'm offering to you. I'm helping my clients get out of the way for the last 7 years, and now I'm hoping to help practitioners to get out of the way so that they can be of greater service, so they can be the genie, so that their clients can rub the lantern of the healing practitioner and allow the magic to unfold. This is where a practitioner can bring forth novel information. They don't even know how they know it. This is an opportunity for a practitioner to reach beyond the techniques and modalities that they've been trained in. There's a friend of mine who's a massage therapist, and he's gone to so many trainings and is highly skilled in the various trainings, but he always has a sense that there's something more that wants to happen. But he doesn't really feel comfortable getting out of the way he wants to rely on those techniques instead of just letting something totally new, something novel come through that would perhaps and likely be of much greater service to his clients, because in the few moments when he really lets that flow through, his clients are amazed at what comes out of his mouth, and it's just the right thing. And there's been times when I've done all sorts of crazy, bizarre things that my personality at first couldn't believe I was actually going to say or do, such as get up while I'm here doing a session for a client in my living room and go into my closet and pull out a little statue that I have no idea why I'm bringing it out, but when I hold it up, they say, "Oh my gosh, that looks just like the thing my grandmother had that was so special to me." It's just one experience after another where the seemingly crazy things that come out of my mouth and the crazy things I do are just perfect. And it doesn't surprise me anymore, but it has surprised me. This one time, this woman, I had met her only one time at a gathering. I didn't know her at all, really. And I had tuned into her, and I just kept getting this thing that was kind of shocking, and it was in a group setting, and I couldn't believe I was going to have to say it. But I actually said out loud to her in front of everyone, after I had a preface of, "Wow, I'm going to say something pretty crazy here, everybody. I know that you're in human form right now, but actually, you're an elephant." And she erupted in the most glorious exclamation of joy and said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. That's fantastic. I've always felt like an elephant." Now, I know that sounds strange and bizarre to people who don't delve in metaphysical or psychic type of work, but it makes perfect sense, and if you heard the whole story, it would make perfect sense to you as well. But this is what I'm offering to my students in this mentoring program, is that I don't know what your future clients will need from you or want from you. It could be putting your hand in just the right place on their shoulder, and this elicits some amazing response from them and a tremendous healing from locked up energy that has been stuck there. But being able to get out of the way and trust whatever wants to emerge, that's where the magic is. And my sense is this is the cutting edge of everything. This is the great quantum internet that we're all plugged into, but we don't realize. And just as when we go to a keyboard and type in things in a search, we can get all this information from beyond, seemingly out of thin air. The same thing can happen during healing sessions relative to our connection with the quantum field. And so you can bring this into any practice. It could be more of a medical practice. It could be more of a structure-based physical practice. It could be any practice at all, because intuition knows no bounds, and divine intelligence can show up anywhere at any time. And it's not up to us to decide how we should show up, so much as it's up to our clients to call forth, to elicit from within us what it is that they need. And in this way, we can be the genie. So if you have any questions at all about the program, I invite you to email me, read through the material that I'm offering, and you can, like I said, email me or call me. I'm happy to talk with you and answer your questions. And I'm really excited about this. There's been so many amazing experiences that I've had, and so many of my clients have remarked, "I have no idea how it is you do what you do. I've gone to so many practitioners, done lots of energy stuff, lots of crazy stuff, and I've never experienced anything like this. You seem to be able to go anywhere and do anything," one person said. And so it's not me. It's divine intelligence coming through me. And that's possible for anyone at all. Trust me, there's nothing special about me except that I'm me. I'm more and more me. And my invitation to you is to discover the more you, the unique magic that you are, and how that can show up for you and your clients and your whole life. So I look forward to hearing from you, and it's been really wonderful spending this time with you. Bye.